girl, boy, man, woman, cisgender, transgender, queer, gender non-queer, gender
non-binary. With so many gender identities and terms being used, gender can be confusing to anyone. So what is sex and gender? Generally, when we talk about sex, it is the biological differences between male and female. Sex is determined by biology or by birth. It has two main categories, male and female. While gender refers to the social and cultural differences between men and women, it is the way the societies distinguish men and women and assign them social rules. Gender has two main categories, masculine and feminine. Gender is a matter of culture. It refers to the social classification of men and women into masculine and feminine. Anthropological studies of gender across cultures indicate that in most societies, women are made to occupy lower social statuses in a highly patriarchal society. So what do you think about patriarchy? Patriarchy refers to the institutionalized system of male dominance in a given society, whereby the father figures that is the males are entitled to privileged positions, powers, and status in society. So there are many differences between sex and gender.
Okay, so we have to get you a sword, a shield, blue pants. Oh, and I can give you the mustache I wore last Halloween. Oh, come on. So what if you didn't get the role of the princess? Being a knight is awesome. At least you're not playing a tree. Gender role stereotypes are when a person is expected to act in a certain way based on society's expectations related to their gender. Traditional gender roles go back to a time when there were clear and, at times, unequal rules about how people were expected to act based on their gender. People who were born male were expected to be strong and aggressive, not emotional, and, of course, to love sports. People who were born female were expected to be kind and nurturing, emotional, and domestic, meaning they were all supposed to be able to cook and clean. Gender role stereotypes also affect people's understanding of who is beautiful and who is not. People still go to great lengths to try and conform to these unrealistic ideals they see in popular media. They diet, obsessively exercise, and go through plastic surgery. Additionally, strict stereotypes about gender police people's emotions. Girls are not expected to show anger, and boys aren't supposed to be empathetic, nurturing, or vulnerable. Luckily, as times have changed, so have people's expectations about gender roles. More and more people are free to behave in ways that are true to who they really are, and that is a good thing.
In gender role socialization, many of the behavioral differences between males and females are the results of gender role socialization. Every society has its own beliefs, values, and norms regarding what a female or a male should look like or how they should behave or act. Gender roles are the tasks and activities that the culture assigns to the male and female sexes. Gender roles vary with environment, type of economic activities, people's adaptive strategy, and level of social complexity. So let's talk about gender stereotypes and stratification. When we talk about gender stereotypes are oversimplified but strongly held ideas about the characteristics of males and females. A stereotype is a very strong preconceived idea or attitude in the minds of people about something. It is often very difficult to get rid of this stereotype. Gender stereotypes are negative in most cases. In gender stratification describes an equal distribution of rewards between men and women, reflecting different positions in a social hierarchy. It has placed more men in positions of influential economic, social, and political importance. There are few female sexes in a higher-ranking social, economic, and political positions. Males have more decision-making power than females. This is the case in the most societies. This is not due to the low intelligence and performance level of females, although it is often thought as such. It is the result of their gender role socialization process, gender ideologies, and stratification. Anthropology assumes that there is no inferiority and superiority between male and female, as well as between the different group of people in the world.
Good afternoon, classmates. I am Gisard G. Hiraldino and I'm from Group 4. This afternoon, we will discuss about the implication of gender role socialization for health. Gender role socialization, among often things, it is create unfair burden on women. Girls are often, especially in rural areas, higher burden than boys. In household division, labor, this may have an adverse effect on to the health of women. Boys are often thought to be tough, involved in aggressive behaviors, adventures in risk-taking actions. It may explain why there are often more females than males, and males tend to enjoy better health than females. Some research findings, women live longer than men, for both biological and sociocultural. Risky social and health behaviors such as smoking, chat sharing, drugs addiction, fighting, involves in criminal activities, alcoholism, adventures, and etc. This is the main cause why males' lives are shorter than females. Some gender-based, traditional, obstetric, and gynecologists also put women in a more disadvantaged positions than men. Reproductive roles such as pregnancy, childbirth, breastfeeding, and the burden of childcare are all possible domains of health risk from women. Women are also more exposed to health risk due to such factors as the burden of participation in various livelihood activities in agriculture, animal husbandry, another off-farm activities, lack of labor-saving services, and lack of access to basic social services, such as healthcare facilities, and as stated earlier, the general preponderance of poverty among women.
Good afternoon, classmates. I am Jera Arguna, member of Group 4. My discussion is all about ethnic and racial stereotype and discrimination affecting access to healthcare. We have different concepts that will help us to understand about ethnic and racial stereotypes. The first is ethnicity, and the relation can be expressed in peaceful multiculturalism or in discrimination and violent inter-ethnic confrontation and conflicts. The second is ethnic and racial conflict. It is often rise in reaction to prejudice or negative attitudes and judgments or discrimination or action. Discrimination may be de facto or that is practiced but not legally sanctioned, or de jure that is part of law. We also have negative and positive discrimination. Negative discrimination refers to policies and practices that harm a group and its members. And positive discrimination, which nowadays are common. Such discrimination involve programs and arrangements that are meant to boost the moral and promote socioeconomic standing of individuals and groups which were discriminated and marginalized. Institutional discrimination refers to programs, policies, and arrangements that deny equal rights and opportunities to particular groups of people. According to Conrad and Kerr 1994, access to different opportunities like quality of life, better health care, educational opportunities, etc. vary among the various ethnic and racial groups. This justifies that the anthropological claim that diseases and illnesses are socially and culturally produced, and so are the issues of who gets sick and who enjoys life better. According to Krieger, year of 2000, people belonging to dominant group may enjoy better quality of life, better health care, higher life expectancy, low morbidity, better educational opportunities, and etc. On the other hand, people belonging to minority ethnic and racial group may suffer from poor living conditions, poor healthcare services, low quality of life measured by high rate of infant and maternal morbidity, mortality, low life expectancy, limited or no access to better educational opportunities, and etc. The most extreme from ethnic and racial discrimination is called genocide. Genocide is the deliberate elimination of a group of people through mass murder. Dominant groups may try to destroy the cultures of ethnic groups. This is called ethnocide. Ethnocide, in other words, is the purposeful destruction of the cultural beliefs, practices, and institutions of a minority group of people by the dominant group. This may be done through forced assimilation of the minority group into the ways of life of the dominant group.
The best example of such kind of ethnic and racial discrimination may be that of the former Republic of South Africa during its apartheid racist government. The system legally promoted ethnic and racial discrimination arbitrary. The few European white settlers enjoy all the good indicators of life, while the black majority of American population suffered from all the aforementioned problems. Although in the current world system, there may be no de jure ethnic and racial discrimination, various forms of discrimination still exist in many parts of the world, in different subtle or that is easily unrecognizable ways. Minority groups may still be suffering from such discriminations. They may be denied of equal access to various opportunities. Our world is facing a huge problems of refugees. Refugees are those people who were made leave their original places of residence and countries due to various reasons, including discrimination. Among other things, they face the problems of poor health care, high rates of morbidity and mortality, limited access to social and economic opportunities, although the concerned agency makes efforts to address their problems.
Ethnic and racial stereotypes are the sources for the ethnic and racial discrimination in a given society. They are the strongly held or often negative assumptions, beliefs, and attitudes of people have toward a member of members of certain ethnic group. Such wrong ideologies lead to ethnic and racial stratification and discrimination.